They are. Ooh, a little bit of bar busting going on in the back of the pack going into 11. Had a couple of wobbles there to someone, but everyone seems to be relatively clean. The rest of the pack coming through. Okay, well done. So we're going to cut up to the leaders in turn 12. And we have Dalton Clark making a move up the inside of Alyssa Foster into 11. And we've got Muck trying to go around the outside. So then we have... Let's see, who else is going on up there? Ooh, it's so tight to call. Yeah, so we still got Clark's in front of Foster, in front of Muck. Okay, and then it's 32 bike of Alexander Aby. Looks like he's in there in 6th or 5th. Oh, he's side by side with whoever's in 6th place. All right, he slots in 6th. So, again, we've got Clark from Foster from Muck going around the carousel. Muck, an out-of-towner. Clark, I believe, is an out-of-towner. He's on the 203 bike. Is he out with the rest of those Minnesota clowns? Yeah, I think so. He's part of that whole component. No, I don't think it was. Yes, actually it is. So yeah, he's one of the Minnesota guys, the way out-of-towners who drove like 700,000 hours to get here this weekend and are really taking it to the locals, which is an interesting feat. So look at this. We've got a 5-bike conga line draft on the right side of the screen and a 4-bike conga line draft on the left.
Hey guys.
It's really cool. So you see how they're moving left and right to try and break the draft of the people behind them. Alyssa Foster pulls out of the draft early and loops right around the outside of Christopher Muck. So she's in 2nd place, even though it looked like for a moment she lost position on the draft. Muck's got some trouble from someone's trying to go on the outside of him. And again, Muck is going the long way around turn 2, jockeying for position.
Moto 3 at its finest there, big long trains.
Yeah, that was cool to watch. And you could see at the last moment, it was like, okay, time to hit the brakes. I'm going to pull out, maybe get a little bit of fresh air, cool the human down a little bit, cool the machine down just a little bit.
We should all start on small bikes, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's what they say, right? The more time you have between cars to think about what you're doing, the better. Okay, so Muck from Foster, and then it looks like we've got, who's that, Jesse Ramirez up in the 93 bike, is up into 3rd. Yeah, that would have tracked based on his lap time running last time. Yeah, so Alyssa Foster coming and making a pass up the inside, still early on the way down the hill into 11. She nails the apex perfectly and gets an excellent drive out of the corner. So well executed from her. Yeah, she got that pass done early. She pulled out early, and so she had all the time in the world to clean it up. It wasn't a last-minute dive bomb where she's got to sort of scramble at the last second to find an apex. Also, it's Ripley there at the apex of 11. So if you're really, really reefing on that brake lever, sometimes it betrays you. So with this big old group, I think all the way down to 5th or 6th place, it's all one draft. Yep.
5 wide.
Yeah, well done. Okay, so we've got Dalton Clark up the inside, and he loses it on the switchback. So Alyssa Foster cuts back underneath the switchback and takes P1 back after a successful back straight for her. So it looks like Foster from Clark, from Ramirez, from Aby, I believe it is, 1, 2, 3, 4, with maybe Muck on that big low yellow bike in 5th. Yep, just losing a bike length or 2 from the rest of the group as far as spacing. I still think he's close enough for a draft, so I think he's going to be right back on top of them coming out of 20. As long as he can get someone else to start moving the air. So everyone fans out a little bit into 19, but no big moves made there. So the leading group of 5 approaches turn 20 to start what is going to be their second of 4 laps. So they're going to get the halfway flags across white and green. And there's the flag. So, yep, we've got 3 bikes wide coming on the pit straight, and they're all going to slot into a nice drafting conga line. Yep, right there. So it actually looks like we've got Clark Drag Racing, Jesse Ramirez for 2nd place, and they are neck and neck. So we're now 3 wide on the way in. So it is Clark, Ramirez, and Aby 3 wide in, and they all make it stick cleanly. It looks like Clark came out of that one in good position. I'm actually not sure that is Alexander Aby based on the bike. It didn't look like the same white and gray bike I was expecting.
We do have a rider down here in 10-13 too.
We've got one rider down in 13.
Yep, he's walking away.
Yeah, so the rider's up. So Hover's down in 13's okay.
Bike's parked in the gravel.
Okay.
We'll see what
actually, that might be the red number 3 or 64 of Mav Johnson. Let's see in a second. So up front, it's still Alyssa Foster in front from looks like Dalton Clark. And who is that in? Big high side out of turn 8 4. I didn't see who that was.
Either.
Yeah. Okay, so we still have That looks like Jesse Ramirez is the one who went down. He's no longer following Alyssa Foster into 11. So it looks like we've got Alyssa Foster and Dalton Clark still there. Oh, Dalton Clark is crashed and is taken out. Yes. Dalton Clark has crashed. I think he's actually taken out the 32 of Alexander Aby. So we've just lost second, third, and fourth in the span of 3 corners. They're scrambling to get their equipment picked up. So Alyssa Foster is now surviving just this battle of attrition up front. Yes, I think that still is the 32 bike of Alexander Aby up front. I don't know. I don't have another bike on my screen that's got the pink on the sides. So that might be it. So Alyssa Foster, all in her lonesome, cruising to the end of her 3rd of 4 laps. So that means in 2nd place that we're going to have Christopher Muck, who's being followed closely by... Oh, who is that? Oh, that looks like the 64 bike. I think that's the 64 bike of Enrique Hernandez. So that's going to be gray bike. Yeah, all gray bike with a green tank. I think that is it. Okay, so it looks like we've got Foster and Muck and Hernandez, 1, 2, 3, after a bunch of crashing. Looks like we lost Dalton Clark and Jesse Ramirez and Aby. So no, actually that was Scott Short, the 751 bike went down. Yeah, so I think he's got different colors on the left side of his bike. So he was on the timing screen. See, I really apologize if I'm calling out bikes in the wrong position. It is really hard to identify some of these as little dots out in the distance. So the running order is, with one lap to go, it is Alyssa Foster from Christopher Muck from Enrique Hernandez. Zach Cohen is in 4th. Eduardo Sanchez is in 5th. JC Camacho back in 6th. I would have expected him to be a little bit higher up. That's an interesting result. So now Alexander Aby is still running, it looks like, back in 8th right now. So we lost the 751 of Scott Short, which I'm wondering if he actually has 2 bikes, and I only got a picture of one. So in my picture, I see 2 751 bikes next to each other. Yeah, so his other bike, so it looks like he's got maybe a 300 and a 400. So it looks like, yeah, that was the bike with the pink stripe that went down. I apologize for that.
Dalton Clark also tumbling down the order. It was him in that same crash.
Yeah, so Dalton Clark was the first one that we lost on in turn 8. That was the high side. And then I think Muck and
that was 10.
Ramirez and Scott Short both fell in 12. Yeah, so you can see Dalton Clark's bike there on the inside of 9. Brutal for those guys. It's hard to high side a little bike, but not impossible, as you can see. It's a lot more tire than you get horsepower. But you've got a Christopher Muck being defensive here into 11, who's being followed very closely by Enrique Hernandez. The 64 bike looks like Prima Gray with the green tank. Yep, listen, I'm really sorry both to Alexander Aby, who I falsely identified as crashing, and for Scott Short, who I wasn't actually calling out for 2 laps there because I didn't realize you had 2 bikes, and I am a fool, so I apologize. I am an amateur announcer who did not have time to do his homework, so I am doing what I can, I guarantee you.
Armchair experts here, AJ.
Enrique Hernandez has made a pass on Christopher Muck down the back straight, so Hernandez is now in 2nd. It looks like that is that Jason Camacho who's caught up this group? Let me bring the top of the timing back up. So I think Jason Camacho may have passed Edward. Yep, so that's Jason Camacho there right now behind Christopher Muck. JC trying to go around the long way around the outside of Muck through 15. And he makes it stick, so with that kind of roll speed, is JC going to stuff it up underneath in Hernandez? No. So Hernandez holds the position into the carousel. JC Camacho trying to build as much roll speed as he can. JC does not quite have room to go up under the inside of the carousel, so let's see if he gets a slingshot. So the slingshot into 19. Yes, JC Camacho has gotten position into 19 and through 19, so coming out, this might be a photo finish, folks, for the roll speed. So Alyssa Foster was holding first position before we came to it. So Alyssa Foster with a head check gets turn P1. JC Camacho looks like he holds on for P2. Yes, Enrique Hernandez is 3. Christopher Muck is 4th. Zach Cohen is 5. The number 25 bike.
Camacho, big head start on the lap time there, 3 seconds up.
Yeah, so Camacho's previous lap was at 2:31.6, which was a scorching lap compared to the people in front of him. So that would explain why he made up so much ground in 1 lap.
Yeah.
All right, so our final finishing order, if you'd like to read it out for me.
Certainly. In P1, number 1, Alyssa Foster. P2, number 1H, JC Camacho. P3, Enrique Hernandez on the number 64 bike. P4, Christopher Muck on the 696. P5, Zachary Cohen on the number 25. P6, Eduardo Sanchez on the 100X bike. P7, Cameron Hartman on the 619. And in P8, Alexander Abbey on the 32X. He started, was it him that started from pit lane? No, he wasn't.
No, that was the 6.